Boyd Team family, hard to believe we are already past the middle of October. With the hurricane coming through, I think it got everybody a little bit by surprise as far as how quickly we are moving through October. But I wanted to come to you today with two quick things. Number one is that we always talk about this time of year to look at your taxes. Make sure that you are being charged the 4% rate, and also make sure that the value that the county has for your house is a reasonable value. If you feel like that value is too high, I can help you with comparables. We can send that in and dispute that. Make sure you're not getting charged too much. When Mandy and I bought a house 10, 15 years ago, one time, the year after we bought it, the tax bill came the next year, and the valuation for the house was like $200,000 more than what we had just paid for the house. And so I was able to send in comparable houses and get that adjusted to where we felt like it was fair. So definitely look at that. Make sure you're paying the 4% rate, not the 6% rate, and make sure your value's right. If you do not do that within the next 3 weeks or so, there's a possibility that the tax bill comes out early to mid-November and you end up paying too much in taxes, and then you have to chase the government down for a refund, which is always fun. So don't do that. Make sure that you do that now. If you don't do that now and you don't pay attention in November, what happens is you end up calling me at the beginning of the summer, late spring, early summer, after your mortgage company has done an escrow audit. And they bump up your mortgage payment $500 a month because you paid $6,000 in taxes last year instead of $2,000. So that's where you don't want to be. So make sure you do that in the next 3 weeks. I hope I've made that point very clear. Thing number two, very quickly, a lot of people were asking after the hurricane, interest rates are coming down, all kinds of different stuff happening in the market. What does the market look like right now? And so the simplest way to say is that during the week or so after the hurricane, there was very, very little activity. And so if you hear any reports about October, in the coming weeks, yes, activity was way down, but it immediately spiked back up. I pay attention to our showing service. That's a national service. They give me a snapshot of South Carolina, and you can very clearly see it trucking along, and then boom, it just hits a valley and then immediately comes back up when showings started coming back around Tuesday, Wednesday this past week. And so we have seen that activity pick back up, putting things back under contract, seeing people look at houses, make offers, that kind of stuff. It is ramping back up to be a very busy fall. The reason that is because the Fed has lowered the Fed interest rate, which has lowered mortgage rates by about 0.5% from where we were 6 months ago. And so great time to start looking at interest rates to see if maybe a refinance may be at hand or maybe you're looking to purchase. So good time to look at that and just see where they are. We do expect they'll come down a little bit next year, not a ton. I wouldn't even expect a full point next year, but maybe a 0.5 point to 3/4 of a point over the course of the next 12 months. And so that's not going to affect you too much on decision making. So certainly reach out if you have any specific questions about that. But the simplest thing I've been telling people is that we will sell an equal amount of houses this year in the Greenville upstate as we did in 2020. And when we sold that many houses in 2020, it was the most we'd ever sold in the upstate of Greenville. And so that number is going to be a little over 16,000 houses will be sold in the upstate this year. And again, when we did that in 2020, it was the highest it had ever been. And so we are selling a really good amount of houses. There's a lot of activity. As far as pricing goes, pricing is very stable. We're seeing that rise just a little bit, 3 to 4%, which is healthy, right where we want it to be. Inventory levels are right where they were about 3 to 4 years ago. So that really dipped down during the main COVID market of 2021 and 2022, but has spiked back up to where we are right where we were 2019, 2020. And so this is a great market. It is much, much, much slower than it was 2 and 3 years ago, but that's because 2 and 3 years ago we're crazy. And so that was not healthy. Where we're at now is a healthy market. And so great time to jump in if you've never bought a house. But also, like I said, interest rates being down, maybe it's a good time to refinance. Maybe it's a good time to look for the next house out there. So certainly give us a call if you have any questions on that. Hope you guys have a great rest of October, and look in your mailboxes if you haven't gotten it yet. Very, very soon you'll be getting an invite to our pie event that we have right before Thanksgiving. So make sure you register for that. Look forward to seeing you all when you come pick it up. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.